Hello, fellow snographers. Welcome to my channel. If this video has reached you, you may have been having this idea of starting your very own ultrasound service, which is exciting, but yet a little nerve-wracking because you don't know exactly where to start. In this video, I am actually giving you access to a preview of Module 1 for my Mobile Diagnostic Lab. In my first module, we go over understanding the mobile business model. This is where we define your vision. We go over the types of physicians that you can actually serve in this business. And we discuss the pros of going mobile and providing an ultrasound service to clinics and doctors. This will give you a baseline preview of what to expect and will also put you in the right mindset to offer the services that you need. So let's get into Module 1. Hello, my fellow sonographers. Welcome again. I'm so happy that you are here. And let me start by saying I am so proud of you. You didn't just talk about starting your ultrasound business. You took action, you enrolled, and you showed up. And that's exactly the kind of boat industry this program is designed for. Now, here's what you need to know. This program includes 4 detailed modules delivered over 4 weeks, designed to walk you step by step through every major part of launching your mobile ultrasound business. And the best part, it's completely self-paced because let's be real, most of you guys are still working full-time, some part-time, and some are taking call. And that's why I built this program to work around your schedule. So in this program, you'll get the structure, the strategy, and the real-life tools I use to build and grow my ultrasound business. And this is without the confusion. So go ahead and grab you a notebook and a pen, your favorite coffee or tea, and we're going to get ready to dive into this first module. And I will say I will probably have my headphones in most of the time. Earphones, because my meeting room is so echoey. And I'm going to try to avoid the echoes and all the extra noise as much as possible to make this recording smoother for you guys. So let's dive in to Module 1. Module 1, the big decision, getting started. Understanding the mobile business model. How do you want to show up in this business is what I always ask sonographers when they come to me about starting. Whether you decide to start full or part-time, this decision impacts your lifestyle, your branding, and your bottom line. So you're going to think about your work-life flexibility, how you can build your schedule that fits your life, your goal. Know that you can serve multiple locations and widen your reach when you go mobile. You lower your startup costs without renting at a physical office. You get more flexibility, freedom, and you still get that high-touch service because you're mobile. So one thing you should know, of course, I was a sonographer before I was a CEO. I remember clocking in and pretty much scanning all day and wondering to myself, what if these patients were coming directly to me? How could I make a difference? Is this all that my skills have to offer as me scanning patients for hospitals and clinics, but knowing that I could be doing this for myself? I loved patient care, but I built stuff and I wanted more income, more impact, and definitely more freedom. But here's the truth. No one told me that I didn't have to choose between my calling and my lifestyle. Now, one thing, you can build a business around your sonography skills, not outside of them. I started with really one idea and a whole lot of fear. But I kept showing up for my first contract, even after visiting that same clinic 6 times. Yes, 6 times. And I'll dive into that story a little bit later in the course. But I did get a yes. Even when I felt unsure, even when I felt imposter syndrome and they told me I wasn't ready, even when I didn't know all of that legal stuff and fluff. I didn't even really know what it meant. What I did know is that there were physicians who needed quality mobile services, and I had what they needed. But be real with yourself. I want you to ask, is mobile really right for you? Do I have, or am I willing to learn the systems I need to stay organized? Because yes, the mobile model gives you freedom, but that freedom has a formula, strategy, and systems. Also, CEO level decisions. So, what you'll learn is how to structure your business, secure contracts, set your rates, and position yourself like a pro. And the best part, you won't be doing it alone. So, here are some things to consider. You could serve physicians during the week, and you can even start tapping into elective scans on the weekends if you choose, however you decide to go. With your business is whatever feels comfortable for you and your skill level. You won't be paying any rent, utilities, or anything for cleaning crews because you won't have an office. You're able to target high demand areas or cities with minimal competition most of the time. It's easier to pivot your business strategy and market in your area. You'll love flexibility if you hate being tied down to one area or office. You're in a region with high demand across multiple zip codes, which can easily be generated. You're just getting started and you want to keep your costs low. And that's always one of the main benefits of going mobile because there's not so much of the financial investment and upfront costs versus actually having an office. Understanding the physician office model setup. So here we're going to talk about how mobile diagnostic ultrasound is a game changer for busy medical practices. You'll be saving physicians office time, reducing patient backlog, providing real-time imaging without them needing to hire full-time staff. You're not just scanning, you're supporting their practice, helping them improve patient care and creating new income streams for yourself at the same time. We're going to dive deeper into this topic a little bit later in the course. The things that you'll consider when having a mobile business is you need a reliable vehicle. You'll need to have your portable diagnostic ultrasound machine, HIPAA compliant software and reporting tools, clean branding, professional onboarding documents, and an intro packet that makes doctors say, hey, where has she been? We've been needing this in our office. One thing you will have to do is your market research. You'll have to think about your top 3 locations in your area or region that would benefit from your services, that physicians may need someone to come in and perform these services. You need to locate the types of physicians in zip codes to measure the demand. So guys, here's my story. I'll be right with you. Before I ever landed my first mobile contract, I honestly thought the only way to start was getting an office. That's all I knew. There were no real resources out there at the time, no coaching, no community, absolutely no blueprint at all. So here's how it really went down. I found this tiny little office, and when I say tiny, I mean I was scared my own self walking into it. No lie. It looked like it belonged in one of those late night true crime docuseries. The walls creaked, the lightning was tragic, and I'm pretty sure it had a ghost or two just vibing in the back. But listen, it was all I could afford, and even though it wasn't pretty, it was a start. I actually stayed in that haunted little baby studio for about 6 months. Yeah, it humbled me, but it helped create the vision for my business. That little dungeon became a launch pad for my entire ultrasound empire. And shortly after that, I started visiting doctors' offices and clinics. I didn't have a fancy pitch or medical sales background. I had a folder, a big smile, and guess what? A plate of cookies. My very first mobile contract was with the health center called the Legacy Clinic in Houston. The front desk staff spoke very little to no English, but guess what? Cookies are what? Universal. And here's the key. I didn't just pop in once and expect a miracle. I showed up again and about 6 times. Flyers, smiles, and treats everywhere. Then, one Friday, I stopped by right before closing and the director happened to be in the building. We actually rode the elevator up together and I made my elevator pitch right then and there. Something told me, talk to this woman. She looked at me and said, come in my office and tell me more. By the end of that business, she had signed the dotted line and gave me my first real contract. And so let's be honest, not every contract takes this long. Some will take time. You'll have to nurture relationships, follow up consistently, and be patient. But others, they come faster. I once landed another contract from the very first visit. I walked in, introduced myself, started a follow-up meeting, and boom, contract signed within a week, just like that. Those quick wins, they feel amazing, but you do have to negotiate them as well. Make sure the terms work for you. Never let excitement make you skip boundaries or understand your value. Here's the truth. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. What you do need is commitment, consistency, confidence in your value. So don't be afraid to visit that office 6 times. Don't be afraid to bring the cookies. This journey is about progress, not perfection. And every no gets you closer to that yes. Let's talk about the doctors you'll serve. OBs, family practices, health centers, private physician offices, and more. You'll be reducing patient backlog, providing real-time imaging without them needing to hire full-time staff or purchasing equipment. You're not just scanning, you're supporting their practice, helping improve patient care, and creating new income streams for yourself at the same time. What clients and physicians love about mobile ultrasound? Here are some things that I've heard. I don't have to send patients to the hospital anymore. She comes to us and our patients love it. It's so much more convenient, especially for high-risk moms or elderly patients. This model is about service, high touch, high value, and highly respected work. Now, let's get into the part that makes some people a little nervous and a lot of people that don't want to talk about it, but everyone needs to hear funding. So I did not have stacks of cash just laying around. I didn't come from a family of money waiting on standby, and let's keep it real all the way. Most of us weren't born into a Kardashian family. So guess what? I had to get creative. When I started my business, I opened up a couple of lines of credit and did my research. This was before YouTube University was a thing. And honestly, if Shark Tank had been rolled around back then, I might have been standing outside with a pitch deck and a prayer. But here's the thing, it worked out. And it will work out for you. You don't need 100K to launch this business, but what you do need is a well thought out plan, strategy, and the willingness to be resourceful. Later in this course, I'm going to walk you through some very creative funding ideas and ways, and basically ways to access your startup cash. But for now, we'll talk about one of the things that I highly recommend is opening up business lines of credits, try leasing your equipment, or applying for small business grants. Sometimes those small business grants will come later on when your business is a little more established. If you have the personal savings, that's wonderful. But I usually avoid using that if I can just use a business line of credit that will give me a little more flexibility. What I wound up doing actually is creating a document to just share about different resources that you can use for your funding. Okay, so here's the fun part, your homework. So let's take some action. Done is better than perfect, guys. So take the first step. Building your empire, it starts with a choice. So let's keep building. So in your homework for this week, you're going to define your vision. What types of clinic and physicians do you want to serve within your mobile diagnostic business? List 3 types of providers you'd like to serve in your area, and then start scouting zip codes where those providers are located. Share your business idea with someone who believes in you. Not everyone, just someone who believes in you. And I will see you in Module 2. Sonographers, have you ever thought about starting your very own ultrasound service? But the number one question was, how do I even get started with this? From choosing equipment to structuring your ultrasound business to even getting clients or contracts. I've been an ultrasound business owner for over 15 years, and I have been a sonographer for 20 years. Now, I teach sonographers how to build and create their very own service using the same blueprint, the guidance and mentorship that I never had. In my mobile diagnostic lab, I provide the necessary blueprint by providing step-by-step instructionals. I provide tools, I provide templates, and I provide everything that is needed so that you can take the road less traveled. My main goal was to take the guesswork out of starting this business by providing 15 years of my combined experience into one course. So if this is something that you feel can guide you through this journey, make sure that you subscribe. Also, don't forget to visit the link in my bio to download your free ultrasound business planner. I want to provide whatever tools that I can to help you along your journey.